Hey family, it's time for round two. What? We got a twofer. I am cooking Sunday dinner now. Tonight for dinner we are having rump roast, mashed potatoes and cauliflower mashed together actually, a dinner salad, buttermilk biscuits, and some gravy. So here I am getting the rump roast ready to go, seasoning all sides. The seasonings that I chose were salt, pepper, Mrs. Dash regular seasoning blend, garlic powder, onion powder, and I think that's it. And I am a little bit liberal. I probably could have been a lot more liberal when it came to the seasoning. But hey, I just kind of want to get that initial flavor, and we can add salt to taste or pepper to taste or even hot sauce to taste. And as you can see, I also added in some canola oil to the pan to get the pan nice and hot, because we are going to sear this meat on all sides to make sure that we lock in that flavor and those juices, to make sure that our meat is not dry, it's full of flavor at the end of the meal. So here I'm adding the meat to the pan, and I was sure to keep turning it, make sure that I got a nice brown color on all sides of the meat. And now I'm adding in my vegetables. The vegetables I chopped up was some celery, some onions, a couple of cloves of garlic, and then I will be throwing in some carrots as well. I'm cooking the vegetables till they just turn translucent, right before, I want to catch it before that garlic burns. And then I added a little bit of salt to kind of release the moisture in the onions and garlic to help soften up the vegetables a little bit. I also added 2 cups of chicken broth. And I didn't have stewed tomatoes, which is what I would have used for this recipe. Instead, I improvised. I added in a chipotle pepper with a little bit of adobo and about a tablespoon of ketchup. Simmered it for a little bit. Now I poured it on top of the roast. I am going to cover the roast tightly with aluminum foil, throw it in the oven for about 2.5 to 3 hours, and I am cooking it at the temperature of I think I did 250. I kind of wanted to make sure it was low and slow. And I don't want dry meat or tough meat. So you kind of want to do it low and slow and make sure that you kind of don't touch the meat. Just let it do its thing. So I'm throwing it in the oven, and now I'm getting ready to start on my side dish. For the side dish, like I said, I am going to do a cauliflower and potato mash up. So I am cutting the potatoes into hopefully evenly sized pieces, threw in the whatever cauliflower I had left over, added enough water to cover it, and boiled it until it was tender. And now I am using my mixer to whip up the potatoes. When I add, the way I seasoned my potatoes, I added heavy whipping cream, butter, salt and pepper, and garlic powder to taste. Now I am working on the gravy for my roast. I used 2 tablespoons of butter, and I'm going to use equal parts of flour as well. So that's going to be 2 tablespoons of flour as well. Right here you see me only using 1, but I end up actually using 2. And I am stirring my roux until it gets to a nice dark peanut butter color, like you see here. And now I'm slowly adding in the juice that developed with the roast to kind of flavor it again. And now I'm going to add the remaining amount of juice that I have to kind of fill up my pan. And whatever falls in there, I'm fine with it. Hey, it can just flavor the gravy even more. So I'm stirring that up, and as you can see, it looked a little watery, so that's why I said I ended up adding 2 tablespoons of flour. So you'll see how I fix that shortly. After I took the meat out to rest for a little bit before I sliced it, I decided to plate it and add the vegetables, because I will be serving the vegetables as well. Myself, Ray, and my baby Choco, we do love vegetables in this house. So yes, nothing will go to waste here. Another option too, if your kids doesn't care too much for these types of vegetables, you could also just throw the sauce, the juice, as well as like the carrots and the all the cooked vegetables in a blender, blend it up, and that can actually be your sauce too, if you didn't want to take another step in making gravy. So that's an option for you as well. So in the back, as you can see, I'm not feeling the texture of that sauce. So that's when I made the decision that, okay, I'm going to have to add a thickening agent to it. I didn't have cornstarch, so I used flour as well. And here I am getting ready to add my flour slurry, excuse me. So I took another tablespoon of flour, took a little, well, not a little bit, a lot of the juice that I'm cooking, and added it to another cup, stirred it till the texture that I wanted the paste to have, and then I threw it in the pan and continue to stir. Now what happened initially was, you can see kind of bits of flour, because you can kind of tell that I didn't stir it up completely. And as long as you just keep whisking the sauce and keep an eye on it, that flour will cook itself out. So don't worry about that if that ended up happening to you, because it did happen to me. And you know, I was just patient with it, gave it a little bit of TLC, and kept stirring it until I got the consistency I wanted, as well as the flavor I wanted, you know, cooked to taste. What you saw me do is I was getting the oven ready to cook the biscuits. And the biscuits that I use are the Grand's frozen biscuits. They're super simple to use. I love the way that they taste. Oh, excuse me, cocktail time. I needed a cocktail, so this was some sangria that my coworker got for me from Spain. It was really good, but I kind of wanted to add a little spritzer, make it into a spritzer, so I took some strawberry carbonated water and added it to my wine. I do that for white wine as well too. It's really good, and it's not that it dilutes the alcohol, it just actually, to me, it makes it more dangerous to drink, I guess, because it's almost like you're drinking juice. So sip it slow, ladies and gentlemen. So here I am trying to tighten up everything on the menu. I threw the biscuits in the oven, and now I prepped my salad. What I threw into the salad was some romaine lettuce, some tomatoes, cucumbers, and the meat that you see right there, I don't know if it's a protein, but it's imitation crab meat. I got it. I wanted to use it for some deviled eggs. I haven't did that recipe yet, but I also wanted to make sure that I start working with it, working with that ingredient. And then I also added some avocado to the top, and the way I did the avocado is I did sushi like slices and laid it on top of the salad. That way whoever doesn't like avocado can opt out from getting the avocado on their plate or in their salad bowl. And Sunday dinner is served. Here is the roast with the nice vegetables, our beautiful colorful salad, our light, airy, not heavy at all, mashed potatoes and cauliflower mixed. The baby loved it, by the way. That was another reason why I decided to kind of add this to the side dishes, because I am feeding my 6-month-old baby. And we have our nice glossy gravy, which was perfect on the potatoes and the roast. And this is what it looked like on a plate. I served the salad in a bowl, and you don't need to see salad in a bowl. You knew what it looked like. And this was a hit, definitely for the books. Thank you guys for watching.